they can't say is I can't. You could say it's hard because there are things that are hard, but I'm never going to give you something that you can't do.
When you were talking, I just thought about your kids. And there's something I really want to ask, and I think this is a good moment to ask about it. So now you have 3 boys, you have a daughter, which, by the way, congrats. I know she just got to this life, right? Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, and this is a tricky question, man, and I haven't seen anybody asking you this. And I'm actually curious even for myself, because I want to be a father as well. So, okay, so on the one hand, now you can give your kids anything they want, right? You handled your demons, you're a successful person, you have positive mindset, you know how to give them everything. But then on the flip side, kids learn so much from some of those hardships. So there's this dichotomy, right? On the one hand, you want to give them everything, but then you want them to learn from falling down. Man, how do you resolve that nowadays? Like, how do you manage that?
I do both, in the sense that I give them everything that they need. I give them a good education. We have a teacher who comes to the house and helps educate them, because my wife works as well as a physician, and so she can't homeschool every single day. I give them food, I give them water, I give them, I put them on a healthy diet, obviously. So I give them this, but as far as like giving them that hard side that I had, I also give them that too as well. And my wife, we have on our refrigerator, we have this board, and it's a weekly board, and it has, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it goes down, there's a list, there's categories like, made my bed, or didn't talk back, or, it would just go down a list of like essential things, like pretty much work. Like it's literally a work checklist, like that they have to do, they get points. So if they get, a red, then that's a way to point. If they get a blue for checking his box, then they get a point, and they have to have a certain amount of points by the end of the week. And if their points is absolutely horrible, and their attitude is horrible, but got the points, then they don't reap the benefits. So essentially, I created this. Me and my wife did this kill, you eat type of model. So everything we do, you don't just get to the toy. You don't just get a slice of pizza. You don't get whatever you want. You have to work to get it. And you have to be able to, and if you make a mistake, you have to be willing to learn from that mistake in order to progress. Because this is not going to be a system where you're going to just automatically get to the next level. And we increase the quota every few weeks.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
In order to build, in order for them to grow, because obviously at some point, like, they're going to figure out, this is easy, this is easy, I can do this, I can do this and this. And so, so they can't beat the system, or it's not too easy for them. We make it a little bit hard for them. It could be a wrong way of doing things, but that's the best way I could simulate what made me who I am today. Is by letting them know that nothing in life is for free. Like, you have to work for everything that you have. Nobody's going to be there to give you a pass just because, and that's what we implement, and that's what we do.
Like, it's like a game, right? And how are they responding to it? Are they responding positively? Are they treating it like a game? Is there like a healthy competition as well between your kids? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is not definitely healthy competition, because they're always checking. I want to get more points than my brother. We do it with the 2 oldest kids, obviously, but it definitely builds that competitive edge. Me and our older kids, like sports stuff that we do. When they say one word, they can't say is I can't.
I love it.
They could say it's hard. So one thing I told them is, when they say, I say, you're not allowed to say I can't in this family. The only thing you can't do is say I can't. You could say it's hard, because there are things that are hard, but I'm never going to give you something that you can't do. So, when they're looking at obstacles, they're not going to automatically shut down and say, well, I can't do that obstacle. I can't get over that. They say it's hard, which means, and when something's hard, it means that there's always a way to get through it. In your mind, right? So if you look at something and you say I can't, then in your mind you just said it's impossible to do.
Just block everything out, right?
If in your mind, if you look at something and you say it's hard, then essentially what you're telling yourself is there's a way to do it. I just have to work harder or put in extra work in order to overcome it. And so that's what I try to teach my kids. And I did it with the bikes. Like I remember last year I was teaching them how to ride bikes. I kept on hearing them say I can't, and that's when I really started emphasizing this idea of it's hard, you can't say I can't. And it was so cool because, they fell down, they cried, they were upset. But if I would have fed into that and just said, you know what, right, you can't do it, they wouldn't have been able, they learned how to ride a bike in like 7 years.
Yeah.
Obviously you don't want to be abusive to your kids, but I don't believe in being, I think we could do a disservice to our kids, and we do a disservice to ourselves by lowering the standards,
100%.
by lowering the bar and giving them an easy out, or giving ourselves an easy out. Me and Brad talk about this all the time as well when it comes to writing. Because obviously writing is hard. Like it's a really, really hard thing to do. A lot of people don't realize that. Like people read it, it's just like, oh, it's a great book and this and that, and it just breezes on. But it was hard to write that book. It's hard to write films. It really is hard. And one thing I talk to Brad about all the time, because he's doing some writing too, is he says, hey, it's hard, and I say, hey, you just gotta finish it. Mm-hmm. You just gotta finish it. Like, I know it's hard, but just finish it. Because even if it's bad, finish it. Because that's going to set a standard that you're going to always be able to come back to and say, you know what, I did it. Which means I could do it again. And when I do it again, I could do it better.
All right, so if you're still watching this video, the chances are you really enjoyed it. And if that's the case, well, first of all, thank you for your time. But also make sure that you subscribe and click on that little bell notification button. The simple reason is that if you don't click on it, you may not get notified when I publish new videos. Once again, thank you so much and have an amazing day.